Hello everyone. Let us start the further topic, that is defining the use cases. In the previous video, we have seen the concept of drawing a line and a circle. That too, we have seen that a model view controller, what model component does, what view component does, and what a controller component does. Here he has taken an example of the model view controller of drawing a line, circle, and uh, any message which has to be printed onto the editor or onto the working window. So uh, that example he has taken, and by taking that example only, the interaction diagrams and even this use case diagrams uh, have been kept for your syllabus. So what is this use case table for drawing a line? So as I told earlier also, so he has taken this line drawing as an example. These are the actions performed by the actor, and these are the actions performed by the system. So the user clicks on the draw line button in the control panel. So there will be a control panels wherein the list of options will be there. So from that drawing for drawing a line, there the mouse cursor will be clicked, and the system changes the cursor to a haircut. What is that haircut? It is nothing but, so it just changes the icon. So why it changes the icon? It changes the icon just because, or it changes the cursor just because, to make the user familiar that he has selected that particular option. So that's why, so that is being named as a crosshair. Okay, and the user clicks first one on one end point, and then onto the other end point of the line to be drawn. So two endpoints we want for drawing a line, and the system adds a line segment with the two specified endpoints to the figure being created. The cursor changes to the default. So after the drawing is completed, again the cursor will come back to the original state. So this is the use case for drawing the line. So in the same manner, use case table for adding a label. The again from the control panel itself, you need to click on add label. So the system changes the cursor to a crosshair. Again, the same concept is being repeated, and the user clicks at the left end point of the intended label. So wherever you want to label a particular line or any figure, if you have drawn, so there you will be placing, the system places a underscore at the clicked location, because underscore indicates that you need to, whatever the uh, wherever you want to type, so there it will be, that underscore will represent that here the person is going to write. The system waits for the user response, and the user types the character or clicks the mouse at the another. He may either type over there, or else he can change the position also in the working window. It's not compulsory that wherever he has to click first, so there only he has to type it. So if the character is not a carriage return, the system displays the typed character followed by followed by again an underscore. With the users continues with step 5. In case of a mouse click, it goes to the step 4, otherwise it goes to the default state. It means that, so whenever he has completed it, so that time it will be going to the default one. Otherwise, when he completes, it can even send a carriage return stating that yes, the typing gets over, and he goes to even a step 5. Sometimes if at all he will be waiting. So this is what about adding a label. So use case for change the font. So whatever he has changed, whatever he has typed, if he want to change the font, the user clicks on the change font button in the from the control panel. Again, it's easiest one. The system displays a list of fonts available. So from the list of fonts available, it will be displaying, and the user clicks on the desired font. So whatever the font he wants, so that can be selected. The system changes to the default, changes to the specified font, and displays the message to that effect. So whichever he selects, that will be selected, and it will be shown onto the working window. Use case table for select an item. Select an item. Select an item. So what it does, will see. the user clicks on the select button in the control panel. So select button in the control panel will select. The system changes the display to the selection mode. So whichever the item, so suppose if we have 4 to 5 items, then you can select it from the control panel, and it will change the selection. The selected one will either become a slant one, or some indication happens. The user clicks the mouse on the drawing. If the click falls on an item, the system adds the item to its collection and selected items, and updates the display to reflect the addition. Reflect the addition. The system returns the display to the default mode. So whichever item he will be selecting, so that item will be either changing the font, or it makes the user that yes, this particular item is being selected, and he can work on that. So here also I am using the cursor. So if at all this sentence I can able to select, I'll just click on that. So in here I am using a ppt. It means if at all I press anywhere, it changes its slide to the from the current slide to the next one. See, designing the system. So architecture our architecture is for the designing the system. So here he has taken an example of drawing a line or circle, whatever it may be. And there will be three components: model, view, and a controller. And we have a broad idea of what roles each of these play. And by taking these examples, we have seen when we see defining a model. Model is an important part of what in this, that is it maintains all the details of whatever the actions the user is performing, and the certain actions it will be performing. And controller handles the request from the user, and sends it to the model. And whatever the model sends back, it again it will be given back to the view component. Drawing a line. So as I told you, this is all about drawing a line, and top, bottom, right, and the left. So already there is a circle, and certain lines have been drawn. See, here is a label. The person who has selected from the control panel. So whenever cursor is placed over here, a label. So a he has given a space. A label is being shown over here as a working window. So this wherever you can able to draw. So for that we call it as a working window. And here we come across a sequence diagram. So what is a sequence diagram? I have told sequence diagrams are the sequence of operations sequence of operations carried out one by one after the another, from the actor to the first component, next to the second component, and next to the third component. So whatever whatever way I have explained in the previous slides, so that one by one it is demonstrated over here. Draw line. It changes the view. Okay. And it notifies to the controller, and it gets an acknowledgement. What is that acknowledgement? The uh, cursor changing from the default to a crosshair, so that is an acknowledgement. Process input. So process input by sending the first endpoint, he will send the first endpoint. Send point. So that will be sent to the controller. And second endpoint will be is being done by the actor, and it sends the second endpoint also. So when these two endpoints have been given by the actor, then only a line it requests for a model to draw a add a line, and it notifies that notifies it sends a notification directly to the view component. And in fact it can even send it to the controller even. And in enum get item. So what is this is renders the item. So whatever the information is being conveyed by to the view component, so that will be rendered, or it will be shown onto the view component. So that is important. And refresh view is nothing but, so whatever the information a user is able to see, if at all he refreshes that particular view component, if it is blur and all, so it will be refreshed. So that is called as a refresh view. Here, by taking the actor, view, controller, and the model, so how exactly the sequence of operations take place, so that is demonstrated over here. Okay, drawing a circle also is in the same manner. The action for drawing a circle is similar. However, we have some additional processing have to be done. That is, given points of the diameter must be converted to the four integer values. So adding a label here also in the label, the same sequence diagram is being taken. Add label changes the view. Acknowledgement will be sent. Left endpoint. So suppose if at all you want to add some label or some text you want to send. So at that time, a left endpoint and the right endpoint has to be. So that should be sent to the controller. So first send process input. So whatever the input is being processed, that is sent over here. Send point, add label. So whatever the user presses the keys, so that will be written by in the model component, and it sends the acknowledgement and renders item for whatever he has written, so that he can able to see at the view component, and the user can able to you can able to read. So if there are more number of keystrokes means hello, how are you, if at all you want to write H HELLO. So whatever he'll be writing, that he should able to see. So that should be visible. So why this loop is there? Until and unless he releases the keys from the keypad, so that will be going on continuing, and till he enters the mouse or till the carriage return is not notified by the model component, he can able to type, or he can able to render the items from the model component onto the view component, and he has an option of giving the refresh button, and which will clearly make the view visible. So till here I have covered this topic, and most very very frequently, or you can neglect this, that is the code implementation steps. You cannot have this one in an exam. So just as an example, in this manner you will be uh, you can write an exam, you can write the code I have explained, I have used it in the slide. Okay, nowhere it can be asked. So implementing an undo operation also. So from here, let me continue my next video. Thank you.